To the faculty and administrators, that I learned so much about the strength of that academy and the importance of partnership between academics and athletics. Dr. Moody, who saved me from working in the summer job where I was supervising people planting plants, he sent me an email and he said, go back to that spot where I saved you from planting those plants. Percy Bates and Pat Gurn and James Jackson, those two are two of the greatest minds in psychology I got to work with. Ted Spencer and Tom Kinnear, Len Middleton, Rob Sellers, John Tropman, Barry Checkaway, Gene Nissen, Chalmers Knight, and Robbie Dye, to name a few of the administrators and faculty who have touched my life. I want to thank Commissioner Jim Delaney and the staff at the Big Ten for the education I received while I was at Michigan regarding athletic administration, the role of the conference, and governance. Jim has always been there for me personally. He's a true leader and one of the greatest minds in moving intercollegiate athletics forward in a positive direction. I look forward to working with him, his staff, and the other ADs in the conference. We are going to focus on having our student athletes compete in the classroom, compete on the field of play with a goal of winning championships, grow as great young people who will graduate from Michigan and make an impact in the world. Do all of that within the rules and have fun in the process. I look forward to working with the current students who participate in athletics, the great head and assistant coaches that we have here, the athletic department staff, the president, the board, the executive officers and the deans, the faculty and the staff, the students, the donors, the alumni of the different sports, who I've already received text messages about parties at my house when they come into town, and our fans. I chose to accept this offer for the same reason I committed to vote 30 years ago this week, the week before signing day. There is no finer place than this Michigan of ours. We are leaders and best in both athletics and academics. We don't have to boast and throw it in people's face in words, but it shines bright to the rest of the world in the impact that our graduates have in their chosen professions, the championship success we have on the fields of play, the research and teaching production of our faculty and staff, and in the significance of our work within our communities to make this world a better place. It is great to be home. Thanks again to President Slister, the Board of Regents, and everyone for being here. Formally, for the first time in a long time, although second time, I said it last night, go blue. Thank you.
Questions, and please direct them either to myself or to our almost new athletic director, or both of us is fine. So
please identify yourself and your news organization. Wes?
Oh, this is for Ward. Rachel Muncy from the Toledo Blade. With your experience and your background in athletic administration, what do you plan to do here at Michigan once you take over to maintain the stability that Jim Hackett has set here at this time?
Well, I'm very thankful to Jim for his work. I am thankful to the staff. We went through several transitions here when I was here, and I can tell you the group that really has led all of the transitions, at least in my experience, are the coaches and the student athletes and what they do. And so I look forward to getting to know all the staff, the coaches, the student athletes, in really understanding what the current climate and culture of the department and the different teams are. And so that's my goal. And then not only will I, but we together will continue the growth and the stabilization in the upward future of Michigan athletics.
This is for Ward as well. This is Nick Baumgartner from MLive. Speaking on the stability, I believe you're the 8th AD in the past, since like 88, 89. It's been, other than Bill Martin's 10 years, it's been a bit of several people in here. I guess how important is that stability now for you moving forward? Long-term job, I would assume, for you at this point?
Nick, think there's no better job in the country than Michigan in my mind. There are a lot of great places, and I've been had the opportunity to go to 2 great places. But you know, if President Slissel wanted to offer me a 20-year contract, I would show him certainly not. So I'm looking to be here for a while, and I think more importantly, I think for the staff, the coaches, and the student athletes, my hope is that I am here for a while and provide that stability to them and to our programs. And I look forward to serve the university as long as Michigan will have me.
Warde, Justin Rose from WXYZ TV. Curious, you talked a little bit about your first answer about the momentum that's being built here. How attractive was that when you were approached by Michigan with all the momentum it seems that this department, school has?
Very, very attractive. I mean, Michigan itself is obviously an attraction to me. It's embedded in me for the rest of my life. To see what Jim has accomplished in football in a year, and the excitement that has created in a very short time. To know Carol Hutchins was in the World Series again. Not World Series. What is it? World Series. Championship games. We watched, my wife and daughter and son, we were all watching. To see that level of performance, what John has done with basketball, just to name a few. There should be excitement here about the future and the potential for Michigan to not only win Big Ten championships, but national championships. And we don't back away from it. We never have, and we never will. Thank you.
This is for Warde Manuel from the Detroit News.
Hi, Bob.
Not far away. Good to see you. I'll go ahead and ask the football question, because that's, of course, what a lot of people talk about. You obviously know the importance of football here. Just wondering about your relationship with Jim Harbaugh. I know played together, but has it been maintained over the years? How would you describe it?
It has. I mean, Jim can also explain at some point, but for me it has. I mean, we would see each other at different meetings when we were in the same place and catch up. I had the opportunity when I was here with my field hockey team for the national championship, and I got a chance to see Marshall Pancratz. I got a chance to talk to Jim for 15 or 20 minutes. And as I've done when Coach Carr was here, when Brady Hope was here, when Rich was here, if I was in town, I stopped by to see the staff and the coaches and just say hello as an alumni. And so our relationship is going to be connected because we've stayed in touch when we've seen each other, as well as we have a bond that is hard to explain. He was my captain my first year. He went through the same thing I went through. He went through it for 5 years. I went through it for 3.5 because of my injury. I know his love and his passion for success for Michigan football. And he should know mine without even saying a word to each other. We know that is embedded in who we are. He's an ultimate competitor. I am. I could never tackle him as a freshman. They would never let me close to him. But the words of encouragement, thinking about this and thinking about him, what I remember is his leadership when he was the quarterback. His encouragement of me as a freshman on those 1 or 2 occasions where Jumbo did pancake me, he would be the one to say, come on, man, you got to play harder or whatever, So I'm looking forward to a working relationship, and the friendship has been great, and so it's not, I don't know, Jim. I just want to give you a hug. No comment anymore.
Quick one for President Slissel would be great for it. I wanted to ask if the 10 years of experience that the board has as an athletic director is by far the most experienced athletic director Michigan has ever hired. Is that something you guys specifically looked for in your search?
So experience is important in any job, but when we do a search, it's like the way we approach admissions. We do a holistic review of the people we're considering. So experience in the business, experience of a relevant nature outside the business is certainly important. It's not the only thing thing that's important, but it was certainly a strength as we considered Ward in the context of a very strong pool of other potential candidates for this great job.
This question is for Ward. Ward, I'm Jeremy Allen with the Ann Arbor News.
Hey, Jeremy.
What was the courting process like for you to have Michigan reach out to you and for you to consider the position? I know you said it was very attractive and Michigan was the best job available or your dream job. Just talk about that courting process.
Well, it started with you guys in the media. Every time the job opened, my name was out, and I had to explain to people I'm not going anywhere. I loved it at UConn, which I did, and I do. But I want to say it was maybe officially sometime toward the beginning of December that Lynn and Jean reached out to see if I had interest in the position, and I laughed when they asked me that question, like, are you really asking me if I have interest in being a Michigan AD? And he said, yeah, I just need to hear the answer. And I go, hell. I'm sorry about the bad words reasons. But that was my response. I mean, it was that, and then there was conversations. I actually didn't meet until toward the end of January with President Slissel. And so fairly short to now. Today's what, the 29th or something like that? 29th? So after that conversation, we had a couple of other conversations, and I'm here today. So it was a great process from my standpoint.
Bob Wanowski with the Detroit News again for President Schlissel, if I could. When you first got here, you sort of wondered aloud a little bit about the size of college athletics and where it fit into the mission statement and whatnot. Now, a year later, Warde Manuel here, you have a year under with Jim Harbaugh as your head coach. How do you view it now?
I think we're doing really well. Now, what I've come to learn, actually, as I try to grow into being a Michigan man, is the cultural role athletics plays in our community. It's not the core mission of the university. I don't think anyone makes that mistake, but it's a deep part of our culture. It's the window through which many people see and remain attached to the university through the years, through the decades, all around the country, all around the world. I think it contributes to the richness of this as a community for our students, our faculty, our staff. So it's really a tremendous part of who we are.
Warde Manuel, WDIV-TV Detroit. Just curious if you see any challenges, what there may be going forward for you in taking this job, and what difficulties might you face early on here at least?
I look forward to really just understanding the department, and I know there's some things that are in place or planning or currently being done. Facilities are one of them, for example. I just want to get to know the culture. My conversation with Jim yesterday, we started some of that. I'll rely heavily on him and the staff and the coaches to really help me to understand where things are, what needs to be done, what in their opinion they want to do. What do they want the athletic director to do? I'll do the same thing with the faculty and the staff and the students to get a sense of where they are and what they see, to give me the feedback that I need to continue to move us in a positive direction. Having done this before, they'll go down to individual programs. So there'll be needs that Jim has, that Carol has, that Marcia has, that John has for their program that I'll need to look into and figure out. And then we need to work with our fans and our donors and make sure I get a chance to meet them and understand where they are. So there's a lot of work to be done, and it's in as short of a time as I can do it, I will. And I'll be doing some things prior to my arrival on the 14th to prepare myself to hit the treadmill and get to running.
Other questions?
And I'll add this. I've had many conversations with President Slissel. He's a Michigan man.